American singer-songwriter India Arie Simpson, better known simply as India Arie, was born in Denver, Colorado. Even though India comes from a family of singers, she didn't have grandiose dreams of taking things to a professional level herself because she didn't believe she fit the part. She had a deep voice and didn't look anything like the other people on TV who did sing for a living. When India was 12, her parents' marriage fell apart, and after the divorce, her mother moved the family to Atlanta, Georgia for a fresh start. College was part of the mandatory life path after high school, according to her mother, so India did end up going to study art history and metalsmithing. While there, she realized how much she missed music, so she got back into it by starting to write songs. After getting some great feedback from performing her work at local coffee shops, she knew that she had to just go for it. Naturally, that meant dropping out of school. Not happy about it at first, her mother eventually relented and gave India her blessing. In 1999, at the age of 24, she was signed to her first record deal with Motown Records after a talent scout took notice of her performing at Lilith Fair the year before. India released her debut album, Acoustic Soul, in March 2001. Within months, it was certified double platinum in the US, platinum in Canada, and gold in Britain. The album was promoted with the release of the lead single, Video. The song attained commercial success and became her highest charting song to date. The album's second single, Brown Skin, failed to chart on the Hot 100, but it did gain substantial popularity in the UK. While India received 7 Grammy nominations in connection to the album, she didn't go home with any hardware. Maybe she would have fared better if Alicia Keys hadn't also put out an album that year, since India lost 5 of the 7 categories to her. India quickly followed the success of her debut with the release of her sophomore effort, Voyage to India. It also went platinum and won Best R&B Album at the Grammys. India then got the amazing opportunity to be featured on Stevie Wonder's album, A Time to Love, released in October 2005. Their collaboration garnered her another Grammy nomination with their duet on the title track. Their musical chemistry was no surprise. 3 years earlier, their rendition of Mel Torme's 1944 classic, The Christmas Song, recorded for the holiday TV commercial for retail corporation Target, also clinched the prestigious award nom, making it the first song created and financed exclusively for a commercial to be nominated for a Grammy. India's third album, Testimony Volume 1, Life and Relationship, was released in June 2006. The title directly spoke to what India was experiencing in her personal life at the time, being in a tumultuous and dramatic relationship. The single I Am Not My Hair, a collaboration with Senegalese-American singer Akon, was the most successful release from the album. Certainly, anything titled Volume 1, one would expect a Volume 2 to follow at some point, and it did. 3 years later, India dropped her next album, Testimony Volume 2, Love and Politics. She identified the project as her first to be created strictly coming from an inspired place. The album was also her first produced and released after her departure from Motown to Universal, a move that was apparently filled with drama. When India signed on to Motown, she was under the guidance of one leader, and after power changed hands, everything went downhill. She wholeheartedly trusted the new CEO, and that ended up being a big mistake. Eventually, India was able to be released from her contract. 2012 would turn out to be a monumental year in India's life, one that would take her on a life-changing spiritual journey. At the beginning of the year, she began having some issues with her skin when an excess of rashes and bumps surfaced. She was very busy at the time, working on a new album, but she knew she needed to do something. After several doctor visits, allergy tests, and so-called cures that only gave temporary relief, India started to believe that she may have a serious illness. She then decided to take a trip to her favorite place on Earth, Hawaii. While there, she had an epiphany of sorts while visiting a volcano that caused her to accept and surrender to what was going on with her body. It was the critical breakthrough that she needed, since by the time her plane touched down back home on that same day, her skin was clear. Throughout her career, India has always had the loving support of her fans. That was until 2013, when a photo of herself was released that people didn't like, and they let her know it. That summer, she released her 5th studio album, titled Songversation. Prior to its release, the single Cocoa Butter dropped, and with it came some promo shots where India's skin appeared to look lighter than it usually does. There was an immediate uproar about it, with people accusing her of skin bleaching and calling her every derogatory name possible. India posted a series of tweets denying the allegations. A few months later, she also did a sit-down interview with Oprah Winfrey, where she explained that her goal was to look golden and luminous, not lighter. She wore a gold dress, stood in front of a gold backdrop, and the lighting was manipulated in a way to give her skin a very golden hue. Over the next 6 years, she dropped her first Christmas album and first EP before coming back in 2019 with a new full-length album, appropriately titled Worthy. 2020 brought India another major trending experience on social media, this time concerning her love life. Her name blew up on Twitter in June over reports of her being in a relationship with Chris Tucker for the last 13 years. India laughed it off with a series of tweets of her own. One tweet reads, "Me and Chris Tucker been dating for 13 years? 13 years? Woo, child. That's some strong black love tea." She did make a follow-up tweet later in the day revealing a slight confession, but not one to write home about. So no, I do not date at Chris Tucker Real. We went on a date or two. Apparently that was 13 years ago. I really don't remember. LOL. 2021 marks the 20th anniversary of India's debut album that introduced her to the world. No doubt, over the years, she's continued to love herself unconditionally because she is a queen. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you won't miss any future videos. See you next time!